Welcome back folks, GTA 6 second trailer is here, arriving just a few days after we got the news it's being delayed from the previously planned 2025 release window to May 26, 2026, which all of us hope will be when it actually comes out. We shall see about that though, but for today we have a lot to go through, from all of the new characters Rockstar revealed, locations and much more, so let's begin. From the reveal, GTA 6 new trailer is sitting at 86 million views and 5.2 million likes at the time of recording this video, so it's truly insane. But keep in mind, it takes a while for the actual numbers to show, so this is even bigger. Trailer focuses a lot more on Jason Duval and Lucia Caminos since their last names have been finally revealed. Plus we get a lot more footage of the entire state of Leonida, different regions. I mean, just looking at the graphical fidelity and details with each object in these scenes is actually amazing. Plus proper use of ray tracing in a lot of the reflective surfaces that we can see through the trailer itself. What this does is also set the tone for the game, which seems to be more grounded but still maintaining its flair of older GTA missions, like this scene where Lucia is on the plane. I'm sure this will be a wild one. Besides that, I think going back to the streets and its culture fits really well for GTA by also placing it in modern times, which will reflect their parody, since Rockstar is famous for poking at pretty much everything from social to political trends. Seeing the leap in tech is also visible, with streets being a lot more vibrant with people and them just doing different stuff, as well as increasing fidelity itself, making the experience truly next gen in my opinion. Vice City is really captured how we remember it from before, going along with the choice of music they pick for their trailers. Now speaking of characters, we got a lot of info, first off being Jason Duval, who wants an easy life but things just keep getting harder. He grew up around grifters and crooks. After a stint in the army trying to shake off his troubled teens, he found himself in the Keys doing what he knows best, working for local drug runners. It might be time to try something new. Meeting Lucia could be the best or worst thing to ever happen to him. Jason knows how he'd like it to turn out, but right now it's hard to tell. And if we go from the first trailer, you can see how his look was enhanced as the production was moving forward, which is normal for Rockstar games. They tend to do that, as it was the case with GTA 5 or more recently Red Dead Redemption 2. But it seems gameplay feature like bodybuilding is coming back, plus very likely that beard and hair grows out on its own, and I always liked when games do that, where you have to shave off the beard and cut the hair eventually. Although I hope we can also make him look like CJ though. That means stuffing all of the burgers and making him really fat, because if they're really going for it, that's going to be cool. Then we arrive to our second main protagonist, Lucia Caminos. Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk, and life has been coming at her swinging ever since. Fighting for her family landed her in the Leonida penitentiary. Sheer luck got her out. And it seems Lucia learned her lesson, only smart moves from here. And I do like the sort of Bonnie and Clyde theme they have here, but at the same time, of course, as many, I'm worried because we all know how Bonnie and Clyde ends. So in the case of GTA, I'm pretty sure they're going to allow us for more endings, which would make sense, and of course keeping all of the characters as they are, because I think for the case of like GTA in general, it's going to be okay. I wouldn't be worrying too much about it. And it also seems Lucia has more motivation with her mother, because she wants to give her mother the life she has always dreamed of since their days in Liberty City. But instead of half-baked fantasies, Lucia is prepared to take matters into her own hands. Fresh out of prison and ready to change the odds in her favor, Lucia is committed to her plan no matter what it takes. Story-wise, Rockstar can really explore here on this dynamic, while also giving you opportunity to play with both characters, you know, switching whenever you want and so on. Going over to our main side characters, these will most likely be the ones that are going to hang out with the most, do missions, and there are quite a few of them. First off is Hampton, who you might think of as GTA 6 Lester-like character. He thinks that everything on the internet is true. He is Jason's friend and fellow associate of Brian's, being Brian Heder, that we will talk about later. Cal feels safest hanging at home, snooping on the Coast Guard comms with a few beers and some private browser tabs open. I don't know about you, but the dude seems chill. Missions could be really cool, and also they fit thematically in those regions. I will explain like why in the later part of the segment. Cal is also at the low tide of America and happy there. Casual paranoia loves company, but his friend Jason has bigger plans. Then we have Boobie Ike, who is a local Vice City legend, and he acts like it, one of the few to transform his time in the streets into a legitimate empire-spanning real estate, a strip club, and a recording studio. Boobie is all smiles until it's time to talk business. Also, these screenshots here look insane. For a second one, like the first image of him looked too real. But the guy next to him in this image is another important side character, Dre'Quan Priest. He was always more of a hustler than a gangster, even when he was dealing on the streets to make ends meet. Breaking into music was the goal. And it seems missions with him might revolve a lot around parties as well. I'm glad, because it seems we're going to engage in different stuff, like it's not just, oh, we are bank robbers, but you kinda dip into everything from the product, transportation, and so on. Speaking of real dimes, it's made up of Bay Lux and Roxy, who have been friends since high school. Girls with the savvy to turn their time shaking down local dealers into cold hard cash via spicy rap tracks and relentless social media presence. An early hit single with the local rapper took real dimes to new heights. Now, after 5 years and a whole lot of trouble, they've signed to Only Raw Records, hoping lightning can strike twice. I mean, considering social media these days, the jokes write themselves, so it will be really interesting to see how Rockstar parodies it, especially since GTA has reached full smartphones era. I mean, GTA 5 came out such a long time ago, it was in the early stage of smartphones, that basically the phone and tech that they have there, even though in online it reached the modern era, is still ancient by today's standards. On the robbery scheming part of the game, we have an interesting character, Raul Bautista, who seems to be confident, charming, and cunning. Raul's a seasoned bank robber, always on the hunt for talent, ready to take risks that bring the biggest rewards. These missions should be really cool because we have a moment of us dragging the safe, and on top of the moment, for example, which reminds me of Heat film, basically it's an homage that I think comes at a really appropriate time. Also rip Duval. And he's also reckless, which basically raises the stakes with each score. You know, sooner or later his crew will have to double down or pull their chips from the table. And for the end we have Heder, who is there at the start of the trailer, and a lot of people are speculating that he is played by Stephen Root, which, yeah, I mean, the voice is similar, and on his IMDb page he is credited, but as I remember, if you have IMDb Pro you can tag someone like that. You know, they might have changed the rules in the meantime, I don't know, but yes, the voice is definitely similar. Brian is a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys, still moving product through his boatyard with his third wife, Lori. Brian's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work. And also he's letting Jason live rent-free at one of his properties, so as long as he helps with local shakedowns and stops by for Loris' sangria once in a while. On the side note, but look at the reflections and light in the screenshot. I mean, this is wild attention to detail. Like I mentioned before, these characters and regions seem like a good way for Rockstar to fix some of the mistakes of previous maps, specifically in GTA 5 Blaine County and Palito Bay, where in these regions, I mean, you will be engaging in different stuff, crime-wise, as I said, while still interacting with other places, which makes the entire map more fun and filled with more activities. That was something which was maybe problematic in those regions in GTA 5, as I said, so now in GTA 6 they want to fix that. The first and main location is Vice City, being the glamour, hustle, and greed of America captured into a single city. Each neighborhood has something to offer, from the pastel Art Deco hotels and bright white sands of Ocean Beach, the bustling panaderias of Little Cuba and the bootleg brands of Tisha Vodka Flea Market, out to the VC Port, the cruise ship capital of the world. They posted a bunch of screenshots with it, and it seems we can also play basketball because as Jason is playing here, and that's expected, being that if they are pushing into next gen, that also includes being able to roleplay in a sense and do this sort of stuff. Moving on to Leonida Keys being our second location, life in this tropical archipelago isn't flashy, but it's easy. Get your buzz on and pull up a deck chair, but look out, you are right on the doorstep of some of the most beautiful and dangerous waters in all of America. And this underwater screenshot looks really good. Another activity to do, I'm pretty sure of that, where we can probably find some Easter eggs. I mean, imagine we find Kosatka Alaska, just down there like in the middle of like the ocean. Grassrivers is the third location, being the untamable jewel of Leonida's crown, so these are your swamps, rivers, Gatorland basically, because you never know what lies beneath the surface of this primordial expanse. The gators may be the most famous attraction, but there are far deadlier predators and weirder discoveries among the mangroves. I think this might be the weirdest location in the entire game, like you know they're going to put all sorts of like weird stuff, but at least we get to drive an airboat. Then we have Port Gellhorn, and the motto of this is live hard because this is Leonida's forgotten coast. It has cheap motels, shut down attractions and empty strip malls that won't bring the tourists back, but there's a new economy in this one popular vacation spot. It's fueled by malt liquor, painkillers and truck stop energy drinks. Jump on a dirt bike and hold onto your wallet. I like the vibe of this one. This is that street level part of the experience, the slums in a sense. Now, Ambrosia is the region where the battle for the health and wealth of Leonidas begins, so think of it as an industrial part of the map. In the heart of Leonida, American industry and old school values still reign supreme, whatever the cost. The allied crystal sugar refinery provides the jobs, while the local biker gang provides almost everything else. In the images we see that the biker gang are called Final Chapter, so that's cool. Also, Rockstar is so back with the social commentary. And I also really like that we will have biker theme again. We don't know like how the driving mechanic will be done, but I hope it's tactile enough. But from some of the shots in the trailer, I think physics again might play a much more important role, and I think a lot of people are going to, personally like it. I think they learned a lot from like GT4 and 5 as well, in both positive and negative. And for the end, I think this might be my favorite region besides Vice City, and that being Mount Kalaga National Park. A national landmark up against the state's northern borders, Mount Kalaga offers prime hunting, fishing and off-road trails. In the lush surrounding backwoods, hillbilly mystics and paranoid radicals live far away from the prying eyes of the government. I mean, just look at these images. Nature looks really nice, and a lot of activities here like hunting. It was great in Red Dead Redemption 2, so I'm really looking forward to it in this title. Like I mentioned, having a lot more diverse activities to do around the map is always welcome, and I mean that on both sides of the law, because trust me, after we finish all of the missions, I still want the single player experience to have things you can do repeatedly to really immerse yourself, which it seems they're going for it. Looking at the trailer, mission-wise as well, there will be a lot. Seems like dirty cops are going to be involved in the story, then different gangs, on top of all of the characters I talked about and their, motivations, what pushes them forward. With Lucia getting out, still having the ankle bracelet, which I'm sure Cal will probably jam or something in like the first chapter. I mean, some moments of us robbing a bank, even giving us some closer details of weapons and attachments on it. Speaking of guns, we see Phil's ammunition, with a lot of people saying this is Phil Cassidy. Phil was in older games, but keep in mind he lost an arm there, so some are saying it's either his son or maybe just straight up the same character placed in this universe, which is fine by me, to be honest. But in ammunition we see a lot of different end weapons we got used to, so hunting rifles, shotguns, AKs, M16s, M4 and some more SMGs to the right. We do see Jason flying a helicopter for a second there, so we are definitely chasing these guys in some mission, and overall it does seem like that GT style mission wise is still going to be preserved. And I mean, destruction wise, like in this small sequence, it's looking really good. I talked about graphics a lot, but it does look really impressive. From liquid emulation, light, reflections, it all blends really well, and Rage Engine is really impressive. I mean, we've seen that with Red Dead Redemption 2, even having that fidelity in GTA, how it looked in that game, would be cool. Now imagine all of the upgrades since then. They also confirmed on Twitter that the trailer was captured entirely in-game from PlayStation 5 and comprised of equal parts of gameplay and cutscenes, and honestly it's not a surprise, being that Rockstar has been doing gameplay trailers even for their previous titles, so if it looks like that, usually it's going to look like that on actual release. As far as frame rate, I think 30 is going to be the standard, but maybe some performance mode might be possible on PlayStation 5 Pro or something. We will see. As far as the PC goes, of course, as it is tradition now, it won't release right away. My guess is late 2027 or early 2028. Look, I'm really excited for this game. I decided to cover it like this as actual stuff comes out because it helps with the weight if I don't think about it that much. Now, of course, this will be tough now as we have a lot more info to cover, but the year will pass fast anyway, and if the game actually looks like this, I'm fine with the delays because making sure the first impressions of it is good and everything else when it comes out is stable is top priority. Because this will be pushing consoles and PCs when it's out to its limits. I also like what they're doing with this game style-wise. A lot of different themes, stories throughout, interesting characters, for me at least, and it seems more down to earth while still having their own motivations and just what they want in general as characters. Expect more videos from me in the future where we will analyze this stuff even more, because if I went too far in this video it would be too long. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more, and join our community on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and as always I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye bye.